Hello, Virgo. There are moments that choose you, not the other way around. Not the carefully planned moments, not the ones you engineered through strategy and effort and the disciplined application of, will those matter? Those have their place. But they are not what I am talking about tonight. I am talking about the other kind, the ones that arrive sideways, without consultation, without asking whether your schedule has room for a life-altering event, the ones that find you in the middle of an ordinary Tuesday, in the unremarkable space between one thing and the next, and simply land with the full, irreversible, slightly breathtaking weight of something that was always going to happen and has finally decided that now is when. Something has decided that now is when. I have been sitting with a specific quality in your energy tonight that I want to try to describe accurately because it is unlike the general anticipation that surrounds most significant moments. It is more specific than anticipation, more located. It has the feeling of something that is not approaching from a distance but is already present, already inside the current of your life, already operating in the invisible machinery of your circumstances, already doing what it came to do before you have had any conscious awareness of its arrival. Like a river that has already changed course upstream, and the new direction has not yet reached the place where you are standing, but it is coming. With the unhurried, unstoppable certainty of water that has already found its new path. Destiny is a word that gets used carelessly, gets flattened into something either too grandiose or too fatalistic, either the cosmic screenplay written for special people or the iron cage that removes all agency from an ordinary life. Neither of those is what I mean when I say it tonight. What I mean is something more precise and more honest than either extreme. I mean the convergence point. The specific place in the geography of a life where the accumulated choices, the survived difficulties, the internal shifts that happen quietly and without ceremony, the growth that occurred in the dark seasons when no one was watching, where all of that meets the external world at exactly the right angle to produce something that could not have been produced any earlier by any earlier version of the person standing in it. That convergence may be yours right now. In this period of your life that may have felt from the inside more like a waiting room than a destination, more like the space between chapters than a chapter itself, more like something that needed to be endured until the real thing began. But waiting rooms are where convergences quietly assemble, where the pieces that need to be in place find their positions without announcing what they are doing, where the person who will eventually step into the moment is being prepared for it by the very experience of not yet being there. You have been prepared. That is what I want to say with every ounce of specificity I can bring to it. Not in the abstract sense of everyone being prepared for everything they eventually face, in the particular sense of this person, this life, this specific accumulation of experience and growth and hard-won understanding, arriving at a point of genuine readiness for something that is proportionate to what it costs to get here. The preparation was real, the cost was real. And what is coming, what is already moving in the current of your life before you have felt it arrive, may be real in proportion to both. Let me speak about luck, because the word is in the atmosphere of this reading, and I want to treat it honestly rather than dismissively. There is a version of luck that is pure randomness, the coin flip, the lightning strike, the event with no relationship to anything that preceded it. That version exists. But it is not the primary form of luck that moves through human lives in any meaningful way. The more significant form, the luck that changes things rather than simply happening, tends to have a different relationship to the person it finds. It tends to find people at specific moments, moments of readiness, moments when the internal conditions are such that what arrives can actually be received, recognized, and acted upon rather than passing through unnoticed or arriving before the infrastructure to hold it exists. Lucky people are not people to whom good things happen randomly. They are people who have, through some combination of experience and growth and the particular quality of attention they bring to their own lives, develop the capacity to be in the right relationship with their own circumstances at the right moment, to notice what others miss, to move toward what others hesitate at, to receive what others deflect because deflection has become their default. The luck is real, but it flows toward a specific kind of readiness. And the readiness in your energy right now is the kind that luck recognizes something is going to feel different. That is the most honest and most specific thing I can say about what is forming in your life. Not different in the way of a minor adjustment to the current arrangement, different in the way of a fundamental shift in the quality of your daily experience, in how it feels to be you, moving through your days, navigating your circumstances, inhabiting the specific life that belongs to you and no one else. There is a lightness approaching. Not the fragile lightness of temporary relief, but the more durable lightness of something structural having changed, of a weight that was load-bearing in your life finally being removed, and the discovery in its absence that you stand straighter than you knew you could. For some of you, the shift announces itself first in the external circumstances, in something that happens, something that arrives, something that changes the practical landscape of your life in ways that have immediate and visible effects. A door opens, an opportunity materializes. Something that was stalled begins to move with a speed that surprises you after the long stillness. And in the wake of that external event, the internal experience transforms, because circumstances are not merely circumstances. They are the feedback the world gives us about our own position in it. And when the feedback changes, when what returns from the world begins to reflect a different story than the one you have been living inside, the internal experience of yourself changes with it. For others, the shift begins internally and the external follows. A realization arrives or has already arrived quietly in the recent weeks, without the fanfare that its significance perhaps deserved. Something clarifies, something that was obscured becomes legible. Some understanding about yourself, about what you actually want, about what you have been inadvertently creating through the specific beliefs you have been carrying, becomes available to you in a way it was not before. And that internal clarification, that quiet but seismic shift in how you understand your own story, begins immediately and invisibly to reorganize what the external world sends back. Either way, from outside in or inside out, what is forming is the same thing, an upgrade. Not in the shallow sense of simply having more, though having more may be part of it. In the deeper sense of inhabiting your own life more fully, of being more completely present in it, more authentically expressed through it, more genuinely aligned between who you are and how your days actually feel to live, that alignment between the inner person and the outer life is what luck in its truest form actually feels like from the inside. Not winning something, arriving somewhere. I want to speak to the specific quality of what cannot be stopped, because that phrase, "you cannot stop destiny," carries something important that I do not want to lose in abstraction. The thing that cannot be stopped is not an external event imposed on you, regardless of your participation. It is the truth of who you are, finally finding its full expression in the world around you. That truth has been trying to express itself for a long time, has been pushing toward the surface through every obstacle, every delay, every moment of compression that seemed designed to prevent exactly this. And it has not been stopped. It has been slowed, perhaps, redirected, perhaps, made to take a longer and more difficult path than the direct route would have been, but not stopped, never stopped, because the truth of a person cannot ultimately be contained by circumstances, however powerful those circumstances are. It finds its way through the cracks, through the unexpected openings, through the moments where something gives and the accumulated pressure of what has been building finally has somewhere to go. The water always finds its path. The light always finds the gap. And the truth of who you are, the specific, irreplaceable, fully realized version of yourself that has been assembling itself through everything you have been through, is finding its path right now. You are going to feel it. That is the promise, not of guaranteed outcomes, not of specific events at specific times, but of something more intimate and more significant than either. You are going to feel in a way that has perhaps been inaccessible for longer than it should have been, like yourself. Like the full, unedited, unconstrained version of yourself that knows its own worth and moves through the world from that knowing. Like someone whose life is finally and genuinely moving in the direction that the deepest and most honest part of them has always known it was supposed to go. That feeling is luck. That feeling is destiny. That feeling is the convergence of everything you are and everything you have been through, arriving at the specific point in time and space where the two of them finally, completely, irreversibly meet. Pay attention to what shifts in the days ahead, to the quality of what arrives, to the texture of what becomes available, to the specific and unmistakable feeling of a life beginning to move in a direction that feels not forced, not manufactured, not the result of white knuckling something into existence, but natural, inevitable, like the river finding its new course after the upstream change has finally reached the place where you are standing. It is reaching you. The current is already different. And the luckiest thing about where you are right now is not what is coming. It is that you are finally, genuinely, completely ready to receive it. If something in this landed with the weight of recognition tonight, if it named what you have been quietly, stubbornly holding space for through the long and difficult seasons, stay close, subscribe, and come back. Because the story of the luckiest chapter of your life is not something to witness alone, and the next reading may arrive at exactly the moment you need it most.